Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are playing a prototype game by Psygnosis. Alright, we got Apocalypse 2. Whoa! Okay, this is very interesting. They are definitely using the 3D rendering for this bad boy. Jesus, it looks pretty. It's brutal though, let me tell you. Wow. This is very interesting, to be honest. We did play a game like this before where you did have the 360 kind of, well, not necessarily 360, but like we were in a tube and you were able to kind of go up and down. But I think this one really takes that to a whole nother level. Oh, we're supposed to be collecting those. I was avoiding them. What in the hell hit me? Good. All right, so now we know we're gonna die. We're just gonna start over. Alright, I did not realize that those, I was trying to shoot them and wondering why we weren't shooting them. I did not realize that we need to actually acquire them. Alright, let's try this again. This is a very weird game. Ah! This is like asteroids on steroids, man. Whew. Jesus, it is unforgiving as hell. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that we have 4 buttons. We got one missile that... Angry Ball! Angry Ball of Death! Jesus! This is a very interesting game that is very crazy. It is a prototype, so I don't think there's as much going on. Yeah, once we pick up all those buffs. Jesus, these guys do not want to go down. You know what? Take that. Oh, son of a... We got both of them, though. Ah. Jesus. I always thought that that was something we picked up, that fireball, but apparently that is not. It's a very interesting game. I mean, right now it's pretty basic. We just kind of have a hard time picking up. Jesus. It is brutal, though, let me tell you. Like, the size of the enemies and, you know, the varying space that we have really makes things... Ah. Fuck. Ah. So those random fireballs are a little obnoxious. I don't like the way they did the power-up system. Like, everything is already so fast, and you picked up a couple of speed things, which makes it harder to pick up stuff. And the whole thing is... It's interesting. It's not really a game I think I overly enjoy. That is just absolutely obnoxious. Like, half the time you can't even annoy it. I can't even avoid it because of the fact that it just comes out of nowhere right next to like where you are. it definitely adds another degree of difficulty. It's interesting. It's pretty lackluster as far as actually gameplay goes. Like, yeah, I mean, it's very pretty. It's very kind of unique in a lot of ways. But, you know, when you're just sitting here fighting two planets, you know, it really kind of, We're going to do one more, but yeah, it's kind of lackluster as far as anything goes. Like, performance-wise, very well done. It's very pretty. But as far as, like, all in all gameplay, like, it really leaves a lot to be desired. You get yourself in spots that you just can't, like, maneuver out of. Fucking. It's like they actually have less hit points unless you let them actually get here. And then once they materialize fully, and it's back to the whole where speed sometimes is your worst enemy. You get going too fast. I mean, it's an interesting game, but like that's just going to be a nightmare. It looks like it's an interesting game, but it lacks a lot of actual like repetitive, like good gameplay. The repetitive next level, just more moons, next level, more moons, different colors, maybe have a slightly different attack. But all in all, it's like the same kind of thing over and over again. It's interesting and unique, but I don't really like the power-up system where you're just kind of flying around hoping that you can pick up some of them quick enough and the fireball doesn't get you while you're down a spot where you can't actually avoid it. And a lot going on. Like, the fact that the moons are so big gives you, like, it looks like you have plenty of room, but you really don't have a lot of room to maneuver. It makes it, like, almost impossible in some spots, where you get yourself in a lot of places where you just can't get out of it. And all in all, like, it's pretty. It really controls very well. It's well done, but it's also pretty boring and lackluster as you play it. Like, the same thing over and over again. It's just really not a sustainable game when something is just, from the first level on, it's just the same thing over and over and over again. Regardless if it gets a little faster, change of color, maybe slightly different attack pattern, all in all, it's the same thing. And without having, you know, more uniqueness per level, it just really drops down to where you're like, like, it's fun, it's kind of cool, it's very somewhat unique and interesting, but it really doesn't have that essence where you want to keep playing it, or, you know, that's driving you to it. It's like after a couple times you're like, that was cool, but I'm good. Like, there's really nothing left in the game just to kind of get a little further, blow up a couple more planets. It's like we get faster and we have a couple of our grenades or rockets or whatever it is, but we don't have any like special attacks or anything. We don't have any different kind of our normal bullets or whatever. It's the same thing, just you get that, and then if you're lucky enough, you pick up some speed and one or two of the missiles that can kind of blow up some stuff and do a little bit more damage. But other than that, again, there's just not enough going on in the game to really be sustainable. It's very, very basic, very, you know, kind of nifty at first, and then it wears off pretty quickly. Again, this is just a prototype, so hopefully if this game got picked up, maybe we'll see it later on as a different name. Maybe they'll do something else. Maybe it was just a prototype that just never went anywhere because the fact that that's all they did. and maybe that was one person's vision, but everybody else is like, that's not a good vision, we need more, and it just kind of died. So maybe look into that, but if you get your hands on it, it is fun to play for a little while. Don't get me wrong. It's well done. Controls are good. Everything is there except for, repeatability and, a drive to want to play more. A uniqueness more so than just the way it looks. Fighting a planet over and over and over again, really not fun after the first 1, 2, 3 of them. So that being said, guys, thanks for joining me. Till next time, you guys have a good one.